Christian Novels Audiobooks, The Story of Wayne and Jean Vozzolo, The Cross Penny, episode number 49. Mark is dead, but this is exactly how he cooks eggs, and he calls them green-eyed monsters, or gems for short. Beth held on to the counter with her left hand and put her right hand over her heart. Beth, you told me he died, Mrs. Beth hollered. He did, but how did this intruder cook scrambled eggs exactly like Mark did? Mrs. Tompkins, would you take a quick look around, especially in that one bedroom? Even though she felt rather dazed, Beth nodded her head and moved down the hall. Her bedroom was exactly like she had left it that morning. The four walked further down the hall to the questionable bedroom. I see his duffel bag, and here's his wallet. It's Mark. It's got to be Mark. I don't know how, but it's him. Beth raced back down to the kitchen and out the door. The two officers were right behind her. Mrs. Bell was a little slower. She raced to the patrol car and beat on the window while Mark watched helplessly. It is Mark. My son is home. Please open the door. Let him out, she begged as she continued to tremble. One officer quickly unlocked the door and helped Mark climb out. Mama, it's so good to see you. Mark was quickly uncuffed and immediately hugged his mama. Both officers and Mrs. Bell were speechless as they wiped their eyes. Yes, he was telling the truth. He lives here, Beth told the officers. Then we'll be going, ma'am. Real sorry for this misunderstanding. The officers responded and climbed into their patrol car. Must have got some dirt in my eyes. You can fill out the report, the driver said as he wiped his eyes. Whatever it was, it got in my eyes too, but here, I'll call it in. Dispatch, this is Unit 182. We responded to a break-and-enter call, investigated, and found it not to be warranted. We are free to take the next call. The officer turned and looked as the mother and son reunion in the driveway with the neighbor lady. I'm going home. You two have a lot of catching up to do. Later, I want to know how you died, and yet you're alive right here, right now. I need a cup of coffee. Mrs. Bell turned and headed back to her house. Beth and Mark walked arm in arm back to the kitchen. Your green-eyed monster's cold. Here, let me make you another one for you. No, Mama. My hungry bear will eat this cold one right now. As he patted his hairy hole, his stomach growled, and they both laughed. Mark opened the drawer and pulled out a fork, grabbed a scrambled egg, sat down at the table, bowed his head, said a quick prayer, and woofed down his gem. After eating, Mark picked up the handset to the rotary phone hanging on the kitchen wall. Trembling, he dialed the number by memory, even though it was thumbtacked to a small bulletin board. We are sorry, but the number you have dialed has been discontinued or is no longer in service. If you think you have reached this recording error, please check your number and dial it again. Mark carefully looked at Gwen's number and dialed it again. We are sorry, but the number you have dialed... I wish her Aunt Petey had allowed her to give me her address, he muttered as he hung up the phone. He called the little community bank branch. May I speak to Rusty Whitaker, Jr.? I'm sorry, the voice on the other end said. He quit some time back and moved to Sunny Valley or Sunny Hills or Sunnyside or Sunny something. I don't remember which. Can I help you? No, thanks, Mark replied as he hung up the phone. 2 strikes, he said as he looked at the bulletin board for the church number. Hello, may I speak to Pastor Whitaker? Mark asked the unfamiliar voice who answered the church phone. I'm sorry, I'm just filling in for them. He's preaching a revival in Arizona, and they won't be back until late Saturday evening. Would you like to leave a message for him? No, thanks. I'll just catch him on Sunday morning, he replied as he once again hung up the phone. 3 strikes, and I'm out, Mark groaned.